Hi everyone and welcome back to another video. So in today's video it's that time of the month again. It's time for a wrap up and it's going to be the August wrap up because it's August. So let's just go right into it. Okay, so I have read quite a few books this month considering I went away on holiday, and last year I didn't read that much in August. I can't remember specifically, but I know while I was on holiday I read like one. So I'm quite proud of the amount that I've read considering. But yeah, just while away I read, I think it was 19, but obviously I read more before I left and then obviously after. So I'm going to start rambling and I'm just going to tell you about them now. So the first one I read was Love and Gelato by Jenna Evans, and I rated this 3 stars. I actually read this for a video and I watched the movie before I read the book. Now normally I don't do that. Normally I read the book before watching the movie, but for this one it was like the exception, and it was a fun time. I actually really liked it. It was a good summer read, especially that's why I read it. I loved the movie, and so that's why I thought I'd give the book a go, and I've heard so many good things about the book for a while and I really enjoyed it. Basically, so it's about this girl and she loses her mother, and her mother asks her to go to Italy to basically meet up with like her mother's friend that was there and like live with him for a bit, and it goes from there basically. Okay, next is Sign of Thought, which is the second like novella type thing in the Sherlock Holmes series, and I rated it 1 star. I personally don't think the Sherlock Holmes thing is my thing. Like I watched I think it was like TV shows a couple of years back and I really enjoyed them, but I don't think the books are my thing. I don't know what it is. I am just not enjoying them, but I am going to just complete them because I have them. But I mean, these are stunning editions that I have as well. So yeah, I don't really have much to say about this one. Then I read Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. So this one I read for the first time about 2 years ago, and then I read 100 pages into the second book, and then I just stopped reading the series completely. There's no reason for it, but then this month I've decided to start because I am trying to do a reading vlog for it, because I have been asked to by quite a few people. So I don't know when you're going to get that, by the way. I'm making my way through them slowly because I should have read them by now, but when they was popular, when they came out, I wasn't into reading. When was they actually made? I'm not sure, but I wasn't into reading. So I obviously never had like that Harry Potter experience, but hopefully this experience will be now. I rated this 3 stars because I liked it, but obviously it's not going to be like a favourite or probably even memorable. And from what I can tell at the moment, I'm definitely preferring the movies over the books, which is a first for me. Then I finally read the play by Al Kennedy. Now, if you've been here for a while, you know this has been on my TBR for so long, and I finally did it. I did it, and I'm so proud because it's been on there for so long. But I rated this 4 stars. I actually really enjoyed this. I would highly recommend this. I would highly recommend the series in general, but I'm so glad that I have finally read it, and I've tabbed it a lot as well, like, as you could tell. So you could tell how much I enjoyed it. Okay, I'm going to try and speed this up a little bit because I've got so many books still and we're already like 5 minutes in. So I'm going to try and... Next book I read was Mary Jane. I rated this 2 stars. This took way longer to read than what I was hoping to. It wasn't my thing. I heard so many good things about it though, and that's why I was like so disappointed because I really wanted to like it. But I don't know what it was about it. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood for it. Like, I feel like it would have been my thing if I read it at the right time, but because I was trying to read it for like a reading vlog, and also because it was like summer and I heard it was like a good summer book, you know, I feel like that might ruined it for me. But would I recommend it to other people? Yes, I would. Then I read The Dare by Al Kennedy. This one I rated 3.5 stars, and yes, I also finally read it, and that means I finished a series, and I'm so happy that I finally finished it, and I'm so happy that I finally read both books, not one but both of them, and that is just such an achievement for me. And again, I've tabbed this one a lot as well. I would also recommend this, and when I finished this, I was sad that I finished the series, but I was also glad that I finally did because I was just in the middle of a series for so long. The next I finally finished Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Scott. I rated this 3 stars. I I did enjoy this, but I feel like there was times where things were just too slow for me, to the point where at one point I did actually fall asleep. But I don't know if that was because I was really tired at that point or just because of the book, but there was times where things just felt like they was dragging on and I was getting a little bit bored. But I still liked the story, I still liked the concept, and will I read the next book? Yes, I definitely want to read the next book. The next book I feel like is going to be my favourite out of them, just because I'm more interested in that couple. I can't remember what the next one's called. Things We Left Behind, I think it was. But yeah, so I mean, I love the cover and everything, so win-win, I suppose. Okay, next I read Pillow Thoughts 1 and 2, and the first one I rated 4 stars, the second one I rated 3 stars. Now, this is like it's a poem, and the first one I liked because I could relate to it, because it was like about anxiety and other stuff like, and a few other things, but the anxiety one was like the main thing it focused on, and I could relate to that. And then the second one was about love, which obviously like I can't relate to much, so I liked it, but obviously I couldn't relate to it, and I like poems that I can relate to. Okay, I'm going to tell you all of these all together for the pure fact of it's in the same series, and I read quite a few of them, but obviously I read the other books between these. So I read the Walking Dead graphic novels 3 to 10 while I was away, because there was nice, quick, easy reads, and I was having a great time reading them. So the third one was 4 stars, the fifth one was 3 stars, the sixth one was 3 stars, the seventh one was 3 stars, the 8th and 9th and 10th were 2 stars. So I felt like, yeah, the series, I don't know why, but I felt like it was going downhill the more I read them. Now I don't know if it was because I was just reading them like constantly, and I was like maybe getting bored without knowing, I don't know, or maybe the stories was just generally not going well and, you know, going down. But I read up to 10 because those are the ones that are on Kindle Unlimited, and I've got to buy like the others. I think it goes up to like 30 something volumes, and I am interested in continuing, but I feel like if it keeps going downhill I'll have to stop, because I can't go, you know, 30 volumes in without enjoying them fully. Okay, next book I read was Charlie, Love and Clichés by Ella Mays. So this I was actually really disappointed about, because I have loved Ella Mays' writing in the past, but this one just went downhill, and obviously it's her newest release, and I was genuinely disappointed in it. So considering it was Ella Mays, and I have loved like To Love Jason Thorne, To Hate Adam Connor, Marriage for One, The Hardest Fall, and I've loved all of them. And then there was this, and I was disappointed because I had really high hopes for it, and maybe that was my problem. Maybe the problem was because I had high hopes for it. Oh, by the way, I rated that 2 stars, but in my journal I've put 3 stars, so I don't know. But right now, 2 stars. Okay, and then I read Holiday in the Heights. Now I read this because it was quick and I had the audiobook, and I wanted to listen to an audiobook obviously while I was on holiday. I was going somewhere, I can't remember, but I think it was like to the shops or something, and I wanted to listen to something, so that's what I decided to put on. I was quick. I think it was less than an hour long, but I did rate it. I rated it 2 stars. And can I remember what it's about? No. So should it be like a 1 star? Probably, because I actually can't remember what it was about. So maybe I should knock that down to 1. And then I read The Heir and the Crown finally, and I rated both of these 3 stars. I am sad that I finished the series, but I'm also kind of glad, because I felt like I was dragging it on for myself, considering these are nice, quick, fast-paced, easy reads, and if that's something you want, I would highly recommend these. But I just felt like I was putting them off for way too long, especially this one, because I started this at the beginning of like, was it June or July? At the beginning of July, yeah, and then I finished it in like mid-August, so I was dragging it on, but I am glad that I finally read them, and I enjoyed reading about America's and Maxon, that's it, their daughter and her experience with love and everything. But I felt like, especially with this one, the ending was so rushed, and all I'm gonna say is the love interest didn't make sense to me, because I was like, well, when did they really have much interaction to fall in love? I don't know, unless I missed something, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. But I just felt like it just didn't really make sense for them to be so in love, and like for them to end up together in the end. But I mean, I'm not complaining, let's just say that. And then I read The Best of Friends by Lucy Berry. I rated it as 2 stars. I was disappointed for this considering I did actually have high hopes for it, but it was a nice quick read. And when I say quick, I mean quick. I just felt like the ending was quite a disappointment. I don't know. I just felt like it was predictable. That's the word I was looking for. Like, I kind of guessed what was going to happen. Then I read Braveheart, just 1 star. Do I remember what it was about? No, but it was a quick listen while I was away, going somewhere, because it was like less than an hour long, I think. Then I finally finished Don't You Forget About Me. So this was kind of like the audiobook I was using for like when I was like doing stuff, basically. And I didn't get far through it, but then I was like, you know, I'm just going to finish listening to it because I was listening to it. I was going to finish listening to it while I was away, and I was so bored. And if you asked me what this is about, I really couldn't tell you because I really don't remember what it's about. I don't remember anything that happened. So it is a 1 star because it's not memorable to me at all, clearly. Then I read Love Hurts and also But I Need You. And I rated them both 1 star. Do I remember them? No, just another listen for while I was doing stuff. Then I read Done and Dusted, and this book, 5 stars, 100%. This is going to be a book you're just going to keep hearing me talk about over and over again because I absolutely love this book. And when I tell you, I could not put it down. I also had to listen to a playlist that someone made for that book while I was reading it. It was such great vibes. It was the most amazing vibes I've ever had. And I could rave about this book forever. If you'd like a review, like a full-on review, just maybe a video by itself, whatever, please let me know and I'll be happy to do it because I could talk about this book forever. Literally forever. Then after that I read The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden, 4 stars. I absolutely love this. I was so invested in it, and you'll get more of my thoughts in a video coming soon. Well, I think it's coming on the 10th. So not quite soon, but you know what I mean. I really enjoyed this, and it was so twisty and turny, especially at the end. I was not expecting the end, and I was so frustrated, but in like a good frustration, like you're supposed to feel frustrated, I think. I read it in 1 sitting. It was so good. And then after that I read King of Wrath by Anna Huang. I literally finished this last night. 5 stars. Another great one, and I absolutely love it. I again could talk about this over and over again. I could talk about it all the time. I could talk about it forever. Literally. Absolutely love this. Again, it will be in the same video as The Housemaid's Secret, but so good. Love it, and I can't believe I kept holding it off for so long. The amount of time it was on my physical TBR is quite sad, considering I loved it. And because I loved A King of Wrath so much, I am in the middle of King of Pride, and I'm hoping to finish it today, and that's why I'm adding it into this video. I am 122 pages in, so I just wanted to let you guys know that I am reading it, and it will be in the same video as King of Wrath and The Housemaid's Secret as well, so you get all my thoughts on it anyway. But those are all the books that I read in August. There's about 30 books there, including King of Pride, so I had a great reading month considering. So yeah, those are all the books. So that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed or liked the video, make sure to leave this emoji. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe if you want. It's free, and hope to see you in my next video. Bye!